What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? It's your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench podcast network and channel. Giving a shout out to the rest of the crew. And for everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel. Help make the show the best that it can be. I want to talk about this for a minute, man. Get right to it. No time to waste, no waste of time. You know, this is really getting bad, man. This is really getting bad. This is really getting bad, man. And when you pull back the layers, it's really sad because when you've had the opportunity growing up to witness high quality sports talk, tune in and listen to it, or tune in and watch, compared to what's going on today, I really do feel bad for the youth coming up, man, that gravitate to sports, that tune into these shows to, to seek their objective or to formulate their opinion on sports. And what they're being exposed to, man, you know, it's toxic, man. I'm sorry, man. It's toxic. And when Kevin Durant said that 6 years ago, when he said the environment surrounding that guy is toxic, you would have thought when a professional athlete says that, and he spoke just like a prophet too. He spoke just like a prophet. When an athlete says that about sports media pertaining to the NBA, that should have struck them in such a way to where they say, you know what, man, we done took this too far, man. Let's get back to basics, man. Nah, all they did, man, they upped the ante even more and proved his point. And really, man, it's a turn off. And I'm the type of person, I don't tell nobody what to do. People make their own choices. They have to reach their own conclusions, man. But I cannot sit there and watch this stuff, man, because it's based on misnomers, narratives, agendas, falsehoods, lack of objectivity, everything that is pertinent to professional journalistic commentary. They have totally cast that away. They've eschewed it. They've tossed it aside, man. And if they got to rely on, this is beyond shock value. This is beyond shock value. No, this is an agenda. In a lot of ways, man, it carries beyond sports. This is something, you know, to convince people that something is true when it's not true. Or as the famous song penned by Michael Jackson back in the day, Billie Jean, be careful what you do because the lie becomes the truth. And that's what they're trying to do. So, you know, I come across this clip this morning of Shannon Sharpe on First Take with the same tired talking points, man, and it's played out. He and Stephen A. Smith go back and back. And it's trivial, man. It's trivial. Man, like when we try to say, like when ESPN was known as the leader in sports television, the way ESPN promoted itself, the way it carried out its daily programming, it really felt like you was tuning in watching actual news. Like the way they presented sports, they made you understand that sports was of equal value as other aspects of life and society. That's how they did. That's how much thoughtfulness they put into the efforts of helping, trying to establish ESPN as the best network on cable TV. And actually, they succeeded. They succeeded. That's why they was able to spawn and create ESPN2, ESPN News. It all stemmed from ESPN. Another, Fox Sports. They was brought forth after ESPN and other sports outlets. And when you see this go on, man, what's crazy about all this, they bring up Michael Jordan every day. This is 2025 coming up, and they talking about trying to degrade a man's career that ended 22 years ago, 21, 22 seasons ago. We're talking about 2 decades. And they bring him up as if he's still playing. He retired from the Bulls in 1998. That's over 25 years ago. But what's crazy is when that COVID hit, COVID-19, where the nation had to shut down, you know what I mean? All active sports was suspended. These sports networks had nothing to carry them through. There was no active sports that was taking place. They had nothing to talk about. And Michael Jordan's Last Dance Bulls documentary saved all these sports networks, because that documentary was scheduled to debut that summer. And when the NBA shut down, when the NHL shut down, when college basketball shut down, Michael Jordan was gracious enough to allow mainly ESPN to debut that documentary 2 months in advance and save that network. And contrary to what they say, Michael Jordan didn't cast himself as a perfect person. As a matter of fact, that documentary was really lightweight compared to many books that were published about the Chicago Bulls during their championship run. Books that were written about Michael Jordan and how aggressive he was and intense he was in practice. So what they showed in that documentary, that was like a prelude, man. That was like, okay, all right, yeah, I heard about this before. Ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew about the fight between him and Steve Kerr and all this stuff. And that documentary was meant to appeal to the youth generation, not necessarily the fans who grew up during that time. And like I said, there was many books written about the intense workouts between him and Scottie Pippen in practice, guarding each other in practice. When you read books about it, you visualize it in your mind. That documentary, man, if he actually showed footage of him and Scottie going at it in practice, you got your money's worth right there. That's all you would need to see. So what I'm getting at is, man, ESPN was about to fold, right? They aired this documentary, man. And it, about a week after it concluded, they resumed with the agenda, man. I said, wow, man, these dudes, man, is nonstop. And they doing all this for one guy. They're not doing this for Kevin Durant. They're not doing this for Steph Curry. They're not doing this for Luka Doncic. They're not doing this for Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're not doing this for Jason Tatum. They're not doing this for Kawhi Leonard. They're not doing this for Nikola Jokic. They're not doing this for Joel Embiid. They're not doing this for Anthony Davis. They doing it for one guy, man. I've never seen nothing like this before. And it's almost like they're willing to just throw all caution to the wind. If they sink in the Titanic, so be it. They don't want no life preserver. They don't want no preserver. They just want to sink. I've never seen nothing like it. And see, they've created such a dilemma. And like I said, the relationship between these talking heads and the subject of their infatuation and beyond, they play off of each other. So what I'm trying to say is, man, the hurricane is approaching the end. Father Time hits all athletes, no matter who it is. No matter how good they are said to keep themselves in shape, it's going to strike all athletes. Michael Jordan succumbed to the attrition. It didn't take away from what he achieved when he played with Chicago Bulls. Not at all. It struck Kobe Bryant. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kept himself in supreme shape. He was always in shape. He entered the league in shape. He took up martial arts. He practiced yoga in his latter part of his career. He never suffered like a injury from not being in shape. But the attrition kicked in. He got older. He aged. He couldn't play like he once did in his prime. But he was still Kareem. And this is what they not understanding, man. This is when they understand it. Willie Mays, the Say Hey kid, right? He probably played too long. But even as let's say, as bad as he looked towards the end of his career, it didn't take away who he was in terms of his essence as a player during his prime years. And he's still, historically, he's viewed as one of the top 5 greatest players in the history of Major League Baseball. It don't take away from that. That's what they not understanding. So what they're doing is a guy who's not playing well, who hasn't played well more than a week, and instead of just saying he's not playing well, they always got to go to the crutch move and bring on Michael Jordan. Because his career has been crafted with the purpose of pushing him to the top. So any sign of slippage, they're going to bring up Michael Jordan. Any sign. Well, Michael Jordan got older, man. He got older. He told the world when he returned back to basketball in 1995 after playing about 2 seasons of baseball, you could tell Michael Jordan lost a step. That's why he changed his game. He became more of a post player, developed that baseline fadeaway jumper. You see what I'm saying? He perfected that pull-up jumper. It was cash. He was still Michael Jordan, though. Right? He went on to win 3 more championships back to back to back. And he said in an interview one time during the 72 win season of 96, he was asked the question, he said, where are you at as far as athletically, in your prime? He said, I'm about 95, 97%. He said, but it's hard for the eye to detect. He said, as you get older, you lose something. So he told the world, Michael Jordan lost a step. But they want to make it seem like this dude is a perfect physical being. And what's happening is, man, he's trying, how can I say this? Because of how they want him to be viewed, he's playing as such. This is how he's approaching the latter stages of his career, but it's at the expense of the team. So they can't use championships as a argument because his finals record don't match up. So they have to rely on the 2 elements that's causing all this confusion: longevity and statistical production. But it has nothing to do with winning. If that's the only reason that you're playing and your pursuit to plead your case is based on generating statistics at the expense of the team's success, it's becoming a detriment to the Lakers. So rather than acknowledging that, they have to bring up, well, why did Michael Jordan lead the Bulls to the playoffs? Why was he mentally weak in that he quit basketball? So now they're going to say he quit when he retired. See, they've taken history. They're trying to distort everything about it. They're creating virtual reality to formulate their case, trying to convince people that the Hurricane is the greatest players that ever played this game. But they don't tell you the reason why Michael Jordan returned back to playing in the year 2002, 2003 is because after he was given the position as vice president of basketball operations, or president of basketball, no, he was actually president of basketball operations. The Wizards was only winning 17, 18 games. 18, 19 games for consecutive years. Attendance was, it was at the bottom of the league in attendance. They asked Michael Jordan to play for the franchise, to essentially save the franchise, boost revenue, bring people to the seats, fill the seats, and in return, they would grant him minority ownership of the team. That's why he returned back to playing basketball. Also, part of that too was the Bulls team was broken up probably a year or two soon, because as he say, we have a right to continue to defend our championship until someone beat us, right? So they broke the team up, and on principle, standing up for Scottie Pippen, standing up for his teammates who helped them win, contribute to those championships and during the second three-peat years, and for his head coach. On principle, he stood up for those who he went through the struggle with and said, I'm going to retire again. He did not quit. So for Shannon Sharpe to carry this nonsense on, man, is really a sad and when is it going to stop? When is it going to end, man? It's total chaos, dog. To try to uphold this agenda, they rather see and blame everything on the Laker front office. They rather see this franchise crash. Head on collision, nosedive, than to say, you know what? The gig is up. That's how deeply invested they are in trying to position this guy and convince people that he's the greatest ever. It has nothing to do about winning. In the grand scheme of things. To determine your greatness is really about what you do during your peak years, man. Your peak prime years. When you're the superstar and the team has spent X amount of years building a team around you, it's about what you do during those peak years. It's not about longevity. Now, like I said, longevity could be an extension that's part of the totality of your career, but it should not be the end all be all if you're not winning, man. That's what this business is about, man. That's what sports is about. It's about winning. It's about winning, man. And this man he's starting to hit the wall. It's not about how you tired and fatigued 20 games into the season when they spreaded the season out by eliminating back-to-back games to try to accommodate and capitulate to a lot of these players. I've never seen nothing like this before, man. And the NBA is suffering because of it. You try to capitulate the one guy, and it's causing calamity throughout the league. I believe manipulating the season to try to, in an attempt to eliminate as much attrition as possible to help you maintain your performance. But by doing so, you have to cut into training camp and preseason that players need to prepare and condition themselves for the 82-game regular season. And it's backfiring big time because they've been trying to promote this in-season tournament for the second year. And you got so many players that's out anyway due to injury. So for every cosmetic change that they try to implement to promote enthusiasm about the beginning of the season, it produces a counter effect. All these injuries are mounting up, piling up. Lower leg injuries, calf injuries, hamstrings. You see what I'm saying? It's all correlated. We didn't have this problem back then. So when Stephen A, when he comes out and says, well, the league is soft as cotton nail now. The league was more physical back then. Okay, but Shannon Sharpe is going to come back and say, well, yeah, that's true, but I believe the league is more skilled now. So you're not, when they go back and forth like that, pity pat with each other, man, throwing jabs or whatnot, they're not getting to the root of the problem, man. Like, I don't like to call the league soft. Is it less physical? Yes, it's less physical. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and say that the players of today are more skilled because the game is the game. And ultimately, it's about what you do in your era. That's why it's so senseless to try to continue to discredit Michael Jordan to try to elevate somebody because they know the resume don't match up. That's why. So the Hurricane comes out and says, I want to play all 82 games because he knows Michael Jordan played all 82 games. But what he don't understand is Michael Jordan didn't play 82 games to try to prove a point. He played 82 games because that's who he was in essence. Because he played all 82 games 9 times in his career. That's what they not understanding. But trying to play 82 games, he's trying to do it by conserving his energy on offense by not playing in the defense, and it's a detriment to the team. Whereas Michael Jordan, who played all 82 games his last year of his career, he played offense and defense. You see what I'm saying? So the problem is they trying to make this guy something that he's not. If they would just let him play his career without making the daily comparisons, you wouldn't have to critique every aspect of his career. But because they're trying to critique every aspect of Michael Jordan's career, that's going to lead a lot of basketball fans who know what's up to critique everything about the Hurricanes' career. So it's almost like I said, both parties play off each other. So when they come up with an idea suggesting, well, this is something that the Hurricane can do to prove that he's better than Michael Jordan, then he goes about the business of trying to do that. It backfires every time. Perfect example. They push for the league to draft his son. Not only draft his son, but for the Lakers to draft his son. Then they try to convince the basketball public that he was talented enough to adapt to the NBA and be a contributor to the team right off the bat. Then it went from that to, well, he's athletic and he can be a good perimeter defender. Then it went from that to, well, he just needs to go to the G League so he can develop. He just needs additional development. Then he'll be ready. Then it went from that to, Oh, well, what's going on? Why is the front office not doing this and doing that for his son? Then when it all went to the pot, then it went from that to now they trying to change their position. Now it's almost like they trying to suggest that his son is not taking it serious enough. I'm telling you, man, it's diabolical what's going on, man. It's diabolical what's going on. And it's just, I've never seen nothing like this in my life, man. So they came up with the idea, they played off each other. The Hurricane been putting that out there for the past 3 years or so, 3-4 years. He would love to play with his son. He loved to play with his son. Then the media try to promote that, propagate that, And then when the moment happened, it was all too predictable. Well, Michael Jordan, he couldn't get his son in the league. He didn't have enough power to get his son to the league. His son wasn't good enough to play in the league. But see, what they don't understand is Michael Jordan would disrespect the game like that. He wouldn't dare put himself in that position, and especially his sons in that position. If they weren't able to prove that they belong at this level. As a matter of fact, he even recommended and encouraged his sons to try to pursue something else because he understood the pressure that would be placed on them if they tried to pursue a career and become an NBA player. It's so trivial, man. It's getting to the point now, man, where see the whole agenda is going to crush under his own might. You really can't at this point. It has to run its course because it's created its own monster of a situation. So it has to crash under its own might or under its own weight. That's where this is headed. And this is why I say, man, the NBA need to move forward, man. And the Lakers need to get control of their franchise back. It's so played out, man. They talking points. Well, Jordan can get his team to the playoffs in Washington. Oh, well, Jordan quit twice. Well, he didn't win nothing without Pippen. Okay, but see, what they don't understand is you can take that and you can counter all of that by using logic. By saying, okay, well, first of all, Michael Jordan said he never did say he did it on his own. Michael Jordan never said that. He always gave his teammates credit. He said, I'd rather have these guys and go to war with than playing with any other superstars. And he always gave his Hall of Fame speech. He said, in all the videos, you didn't just see me, you saw Scottie Pippen in every one of them. So he recognized Scottie right off the bat. That was the first thing he said during his Hall of Fame speech. He got that. He let people know up front. But the fact that he only needed one prime teammate to win all 6 championships with, one. When I mean prime teammate, I mean like a number 2 level player. You see what I'm saying? Who was drafted out of Division II school. So really, if you use logic and counter that, it makes the argument look trivial and juvenile. It really shows how great Jordan actually was. And how he helped make Pippen great. As Pippen said himself, right after they won their 4th championship, during the post game, when they were celebrating, and Scottie Pippen said, no, I learned a lot from Jordan. I picked up a lot. I tried to pattern my game after him. He's helped me become a better player over the years. That's what Scottie Pippen said in real time, where you can't misinterpret nothing. But for Shannon Sharp to make the comments that he made today, saying Michael Jordan quit and all this stuff, man, is and they say it with a straight face, man. Like they convinced what they saying is legit. That's what's scary about it. And it's not funny, man. It's not funny, man. For a professional athlete, man, it's professional sport. Now, what if someone peeled away at Shannon Sharp's career and try to mock it and try to say this and that? He wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it. So at the end of the day, man, this is why I don't tune in and watch them, though. I can't do it, man, because they're going to say something whack. It's going to be something that's illogical, irrational, extreme. It's not based on anything factual, and it's going to try to discredit the past. And that's why the NBA is the only league where its past players are getting trashed. You don't see this in the NFL. The NFL going to uphold their shield. It's going to uphold their history, boss. They gonna give props to the 72 Dolphins every year as the only remaining undefeated team in the history of the NFL. They gonna give them their recognition. They gonna talk about all the story teams, the steel curtain Pittsburgh Steelers, America's team back in the day, Dallas Cowboys with Tom Landry, and they gonna uphold Jim Brown, the '60s Packers. That Super Bowl trophy is named after Vince Lombardi, who to me is the greatest head coach in history of NFL. They gonna uphold the history. Baseball always upholds its history, man. They gonna talk about Babe Ruth, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Roberto Clemente, Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Pete Rose, as far as a player, to me, he's the all-time hits leader. And he won 3 World Series in his career. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, Derek Jeter, of recent memory. They gonna honor all the baseball greats. The black baseball players, the white baseball players, the Hispanic baseball players, and then soon to be Asian baseball players. But the NBA is the only league where its past players are getting trashed because of this agenda, man. And it's sad, man. But in the end, they will all fall and crash under their own weight, and we get some fresh voices up in there, man. That got the true love for the game, true love for basketball, and looking forward to focusing on the young talent in this league, man. Because these people right now, man, they not doing nothing. They not contributing in a positive way. They not contributing, man. All they doing is rehashing the past. Misinterpreting the past. They memorize stats and numbers, man. They provide no context. None. They can't talk ball, man. They can't. I haven't seen any evidence over these past 6-7 years that would let me know that they can talk ball. They used to back in the day. Not now. Because they bogged down. They are hell bent on maintaining and continue to push this agenda, man. And they gonna do it until it all crashes. That's when it's gonna finally stop. But like I said, man, what's crazy is, and what fans of the Hurricane got to understand is, when Michael Jordan retired for good in 2003, his name wasn't being brought up every day. They weren't comparing Kobe Bryant every day to Michael Jordan. It was more like style of play, even though Kobe had his own game. It was more just they both played 2 guards. Yes, Kobe Bryant Jordan was a mentor to Kobe. You know, Kobe was like the teacher and the student, but they weren't sitting there trying to trash Jordan to elevate Kobe. That's what I'm trying to say. Or, Vince Carter, Vinsanity. They weren't trashing Jordan to say, oh man, Vince Carter, man, shit, man, he the best dunk in the game. They weren't turn Jordan down and try to, Vince Carter was his own entity. It was like Jordan retired. He got his standing ovation. And then the league moved forward, man, in a positive way. You had a lot of stars during the 2000s, man. Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Steve Franchise. Steve Francis. I was about to say Steve Franchise. Yao Ming came to the league. There was a lot of excitement about Yao Ming. Then when when the Hurricane into the league, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Carmelo Anthony. You see what I'm saying? But now the league is just so stagnant, man. And what makes it so bad, man, he's not winning. So I just be glad when this ends, man. I just want to throw this out here, man. It's just getting more toxic by the day. It's getting more toxic by the day, by the hour, man. And it's like they don't know what to do. They don't know what else to do, man. It's like they just stuck in neutral, man. That's I mean, man, it's so toxic. Jordan has left the entire NBA. The last event where Jordan made a public appearance at was the top 75 anniversary of a couple years ago, when they recognized the top 75 players in NBA history. And word was he wasn't even planning on showing up for that, but in the last minute, he agreed to do it. And the crowd let everybody know who was who. And all them great players cleared out as Jordan approached that their little circle stage, and they let him walk on that circle. Nobody else walked on that circle but Michael Jordan. So the people know, man. The people know. They know what that man meant to the sport of basketball. And these these toxic heads, man, they destroying the NBA dynamic. They're destroying it, and they don't even realize it. And if they do, they don't care. It's one of the two. But in the end, they're going to lose, though. In the end, they will lose. Because history's going to win out. The truth will win out. They need to be replaced, man, with sincere voices, man, that's going to uphold history of the game. And you can still say, oh, man, today's players, man, they're phenomenal. You can still do that because it's the world's greatest players. World's greatest basketball players. But you can still uphold the history at the same time. That's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. And the only reason they're doing it, any era of basketball that Michael Jordan was associated with, like the Dream Team, they try to trash that. It's sad, man. It's sad, man. They polluted the airwaves, dog. It's as simple as that. Instead of saying, the Hurricane, he's reaching the end just like everybody else. They want to act like this man is still 20-some years old. They didn't even do that with Jordan, because Jordan say when they made their last run with the Bulls that last year, he said, yeah, our bodies are tired, but our spirit isn't. He knew he was getting older, but that attrition, but it's their will, man. It carried him through. It's their will and refusal to lose. And that's what they're not understanding, man. That's what made Michael Jordan, man. It wasn't about the stats. It was about the will to win, man. The will to win. As he say, by any means necessary. Meaning he was going to do whatever it took to win. I ain't talking about cutting corners of nefarious means. I'm talking about within the art of competition, he's willing to do whatever it took to win. So I just want to drop that real quick, man. It's just really unfortunate, what that man said today, and that's why I can't tune in to watch that. Ain't nothing to watch, man. It ain't nothing there, man. I feel bad for the youth, man, because they deserve better, man. They deserve what we had coming up. The leader in sports television, and it's the furthest thing from it at this current time. But I just want to drop that nugget. Until next time, JB, BTB, behind the bench.